The mask mandate could be returning to Buncombe County and Asheville next week.
The Buncombe County Board of Commissioners is expected to vote on reinstating the mandate on Tuesday.
News 13's Anjali Patel asked leaders about the new potential mandate and just how long it could last.
On Tuesday, the Buncombe County Board of Commissioners is expected to vote to reinstate the state of emergency and the county's mask mandate. And the chairman says after speaking with the mayor of Asheville, he expects the city to also align with the county's expected mandate. Masks could once again be required indoors in all publicly accessible buildings in Asheville and unincorporated Buncombe County next week.
We're pleased to have it come back because it's going to save a lot of arguing in some situations.
Business owner Deborah Cooley says she's glad to have it back. And Brownie Newman, the chair of the Buncombe County Board of Commissioners, says many business owners have been asking leaders to reinstate the mandate. But he assures them he doesn't anticipate any other restrictions coming soon.
That's part of the reason we're looking towards masks as a solution, because businesses can continue to operate and it doesn't impose the kind of harm to our workforce and our businesses that other types of restrictions would entail.
He says the rising number of COVID-19 hospitalizations in the area is what is pushing leaders towards another mandate. But as far as enforcement,
we are largely relying on people's good faith efforts to comply with this requirement.
He says it just wouldn't be feasible to have health officials or law enforcement posted at every business and believes compliance was good the first time around. But are good faith efforts enough? I mean, what's the point of a mandate if it's not going to be enforced?
I believe, Buncombe County was the second county in North Carolina last year to create an indoor mask requirement. And we did that well in advance of the state of North Carolina adopting the requirement, which they eventually did. But I believe it contributed significantly to the fact that Asheville and Buncombe County have had consistently lower rates of COVID transmission than the rest of North Carolina and most other cities and regions that are similar to us. So I think it made a positive difference.
And while some think the mandate is a good idea,
I'm all for it. I think that we need to keep the children as safe as possible.
Others may not. To those people, Newman says he does not anticipate this being a long-term situation. He expects to lift the mandate once kids under 12 are eligible for COVID-19 shots. Now, Newman says he's unsure yet if this mandate would apply to Buncombe County schools, which has mandated masks, but students and staff who voluntarily show proof of vaccination can be exempt. The Buncombe County Board of Education is holding a special meeting on Friday at 10 a.m.
Tonight, more than 2,400 people are hospitalized in the state with COVID-19. There were almost 6,000 new cases today. That's leading to new discussion on masks across Western North Carolina. News 13's Andrew James has new reaction from doctors about some school mask guidelines. But first, we begin with News 13's Hannah McKenzie. And Hannah, there are concerns whether all jurisdictions will follow Buncombe County's lead if it reinstates a mask mandate.
Holly, here in Asheville, several city council members have already voiced their support for a mask mandate, but the same can't be said for all communities within Buncombe County. Buncombe County expected to vote on reinstating a mask mandate Tuesday, according to Commission Chairman Brownie Newman.
But as we're seeing the hospitalization numbers really go up quickly, we believe this is a step that we can take that will make a difference.
If the county does go that route, it doesn't mean the cities within Buncombe have to follow suit. Asheville looks like it will, though. City Council member Sage Turner taking to social media to show her support of a mandate. And Council member Kim Roney telling us city and county-wide mandates should go into effect immediately.
There's still a little bit of missing information I think would be good to have in making decisions.
Weaverville still on the fence, according to Mayor Al Root.
So as it stands now, what is your take? Mask or no mask?
My suspicion right now is a mask requirement is going to make sense. The devil's in the details, though.
Enforcement, penalties, and updated hospital numbers, all key factors, says Root, in moving forward. And a sweeping mask mandate may be too restrictive for his small town, he says.
I think it's very possible you might issue a separate order of our own.
We went to Wag Bar in Weaverville to sniff out locals' opinions.
As long as the businesses get the opportunity to make the decision, then I'm okay. But when it comes from government, I'm a little bit more suspicious, less excited to follow the mandate.
Our government needs to do everything possible to encourage everybody to wear a mask and require it if necessary.
Now, Root tells me one of his main focuses as mayor is to lead by example. That's why right now they're currently in the process of implementing vaccine requirements for all town employees.
Local school boards are grappling with decisions about masks for the upcoming school year. Some originally making masks optional, only to later reverse course and require masks. News 13's Andrew James is live in Buncombe County with the latest decisions from schools. Andrew?
Special called meeting tomorrow morning to revisit the mask policy it approved last week. And now Madison County Schools is now changing course, after originally voted to make masks optional. One child who is sick or in the hospital is too many. That's the message from Madison County Schools Superintendent Dr. Will Hoffman, announcing that masks will now be required indoors until further notice. In a press release Wednesday, Dr. Hoffman cites a 20% positivity rate in the county and says the county has 30 youth who have tested positive between the ages of 0 and 18, with one child in the ER. Dr. Hoffman says requiring face coverings gives the school system the greatest chance of keeping students safe and schools open.
Significant numbers of kids are testing positive for COVID, and that's a major concern because school is set to start this Monday.
The Yancey County Board of Education is making masks optional for the upcoming school year, which Dr. Chad Smoker says could have major consequences.
I think within a week, we're going to start seeing lots of kids getting sick and having to quarantine.
He worries that some Yancey County schools could have to close temporarily because of the COVID spread and quarantines he expects to see.
Change is inevitable.
That change could be coming soon for Buncombe County schools. The Board of Education voted last week to make masks mandatory, except in cases of behavioral condition or disability that prevents wearing a face covering, or if students or staff voluntarily prove they have been vaccinated, a decision that did not sit well with some parents.
You are not dictators, and you do not get to tell us what we can and cannot do with our children.
The Buncombe County Board of Education will hold a special called meeting Friday morning to consider modifying and strengthening current mask requirements. Now, I did reach out to Buncombe County Schools today and also every school board member. I spoke to one board member, but they were not able to provide any other information than what is on the special called meeting agenda.